Good afternoon and good day, my friends, and welcome back to the cottage. I hope you feel at home here with me. And today we are playing more of the lovely Beacon Pines game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right. All right, testing. Let's see. Turn the game audio down just a tad. There we go. Alright. Pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step. Pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step. Near the fountain, up the step. Step. Can I talk to them? No. Can't talk. Can't talk to them. Can't talk to any of them, really. Over here, maybe? Oh. Okay. Here we go. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. The kids have some fun. Fine. But Rollo owes me.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. And I got a badge. Hard. Ugh, I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. Takes flight but has no wings. Your final task a friendship brings. Good luck, Luca. Wait. Takes flight but has no wings. Oh, hello. Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yep. Well then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Flight. Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it! You were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh. Sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened and your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rollo. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. That was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay. Apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rollo,
Aww.
hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rollo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? You could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Can I talk to anyone? No. Oh, hold on. Old Pickler's Pond. Oh, that's just a sign. Okie dokie. Can I talk to you? Did you hear? After Mr. Carey gives his big speech, they're gonna have the first annual Biggest Catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. Alright, we're at the treehouse. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
That was a very ominous letter. Hi, Tiz! That was a very obvious, Gran is up to something. She's about to do something, and she doesn't think she's coming back from it. She just said, whatever happens, just know that I love you. That's not promising for her chances of survival. What is Gran doing? What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rollo.
Luca was at a loss for words. But that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Aw, man, we missed the fireworks?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
I just got an achievement. The Big Chill.
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason.
What?
And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time.
What?
The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't.
I agree. What?
I won't accept it, and I hope...
What happened? Ice Age 3?
There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it.
Well, I mean, we keep on getting badges like crazy, so yeah.
We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Alright, well, we did Rumble. We haven't done Break. Got Flight instead of Fight. So we've got two options here. We can do the MCDC and do Flight, or we can do Break instead of Rumble. What do you think? Flight or Break? To see what goes next. Are those the only two options? Yes. Break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rillo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rillo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you'd tell him about what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Oh. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's she talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If it means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I will expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Care's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. There's one thing I've learned, the change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady? That's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of
The
this?
mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5.
Okay, here's the thing. I know for a fact that I don't think Gran was the one who grabbed Luca, because Eris just gave Gran the suit, right? That's what we just saw. She said, I expect this suit back in prime condition. So the suit that got Luca and the suit that Gran has, two different suits.
What big ears you have.
What big ears you have.
Luca sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that? Okay, the game's very quiet. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my Gran. Is that better? That was your Gran? Yeah. Oh my god. How about this? Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out from there. Lead the way. Audio issues. Oh boy. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely! If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, you'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give them a good hard pop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you'd better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. Yeah, but we're not going home. Whoop. Gotta check in with Miss Book Reader. The answer you seek will be revealed in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Ooh, spooky. Hey, we'll go talk to Dawn. Where's Dawn at? Yeah, she's very foreshadowing at this point. Oh. Dawn, where'd you go? Dawn's not there. Can we talk to you? Oh, we can. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra phone. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird, for sure. Well, the customer is always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. Okay.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, it's not that at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so interested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. Do you see a potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge and the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. That's spooky. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So, what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's, Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny even when he's not trying to be. Things have been rough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. It's kinda a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Pekin Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Teehee. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. Next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep, for some reason, their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Pekin Pines Reborn Initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. Alright, here we are. It's about time! I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find out we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah? While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Pulling up the ladder. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Lavish. Luca, you're kind of looking like your gran there. What? Not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Oh. There we go. Nope. Can you tell I'm a bad shot? There we go. Oh no, not a moving target. Honka honka! Where did you guys get all this stuff in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. Tempted to take the can and throw it at Rollo's head. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So, like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know. But the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so, we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. Their leader is your gran and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your gran before? Not really, no. It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I was just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family, but you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6.
Investigation! Yes.
secret lair.
Secret layer and lair.
Summer forged ahead, but the
At least
nights
that's what it
only
sounded
seemed
like.
to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Rolo, what on earth is that? Hmm? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? This helps me think. We're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. It does actually look pretty good on him. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Rat! It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere your Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first? No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now! And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted and turned toward the kitchen.
The door's still open and the water's still on from when I left it on. Alright, look, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And a good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh, hey. Let me just yank on this random teacup and...
As Beck pulled on one of the teacups, It slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So, which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Secret area! Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive? And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Incendiary. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries,
He smacked his lips.
a hint of brown sugar, and ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Aw man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So, more of a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncrade has a check mark. Clipboards are all inside of a big circle. My mom's are both on here. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as these are a lot like a cheeseburger. Best to skip right to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in the dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncream's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Willoughby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else?
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here! The writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease or whatever it is progresses so fast. And with his wife's passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
Oh boy.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to the town. And if we follow it,
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right
He
to
jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on the map has the same symbol as the explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. Real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival! Did you just say gulp? This feels kind of like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival! Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
Yoo-hoo!
Thump.
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Yeah! Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. There's only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome! Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tulliver!
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Hiram.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run a classic good cop, blank cop interrogation. Chill or hard? I think hard is a new one, so maybe we go with hard.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
Ugh. What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now, hold on. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in hoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord!
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Cato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. And we're going to pause it just right there for a second. Because this is a dang nice library. Thanks. We work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Adorable. Oh, Cato hung out here so much, they eventually gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult.
Alright, I'm hearing stuff. It's really difficult to concentrate when the baby alarm bells are going off in my head.
As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be a footnote in history. Just like
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name back? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
Gran's home.
He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
He's gone. No.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his findings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nungreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened.
Uh-oh.
His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The jam? Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed.
That's not safe sleep practice.
He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
So she was trying to drug Nuncreed for some reason. A festival. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa. Whoa. Sly devil. Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing... hello, Bacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already knew that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just want to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause, befitting such a great man. Now even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, so where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Aw, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Sure, would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Didn't prepare anything, huh? Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am daggum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. See, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. The conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand in a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. Uh-oh. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart I can proclaim
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits! Ice Age again.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end.
Apparently.
On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
Okay. Nah, I'm kidding though.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
All right, let's see. Options. We have flight. This is when Iggy got transmorgified, I think. We fought instead of ran. There is another top option. Yeah, there's Sly and there's Chill. Do we want to switch from this branch or stay on this branch? Do we want to do another interrogation? Or do we want to go see if we can run away from the clipboards? You like this branch? Alright, Sly or Chill? Chill?
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why did you have me strapped down? No faults, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids give old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just, all this stuff seems pretty weird. Board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient's notes?
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. Kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings.
He's gonna run.
Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This will all make sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he
he's
spoke.
gonna run. You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past, indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
Past that must be brought
He
to...
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light! Ooh. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there and let the adults handle
They
this.
looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right.
Oh no.
Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Okay, that was very quick. So, continue this branch or switch? We've only got Sly left on this branch. Sly time. Okay.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
Yeah, most likely.
Luca and
Probably
Rollo
gonna be
ducked
back.
behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Yep.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Moodwell girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
Seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we were going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning up things down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good, there's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing, really. The other day I had the radio on scan while stocking the candy shelf, and wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in the perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work on that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Uncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Rollo, that was incredible. Yeah, excuse me. Well, either that or it's Kren's nude drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nuncreed's drugstore. Scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Not scary at all. Oh, you're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think.
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Carrot really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Karen Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always be just a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Yeesh. It's getting late, children. Not that way. Oh, hey.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. And where do you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we may not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Me either. I hate licorice. Any licorice, I hate it. But whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. He must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. Okay. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Friend's new drugstore! I mean, Underground secrets! Password!
Beck flung open the door, and they all squeezed in.
All right, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember what I said when... Do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the transdimensional conduits from Hank Atomic Issue 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa, you don't realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. The suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mysterious warehouse creeper? We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like an uncreed and talks like an uncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomics to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rolo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing! I didn't even mow yet! What was that? Hide! Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Uncreed. Shit. Awesome! You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. They love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Wait, Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. He says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. The thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, we'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. You forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My Gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently, she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain? Why? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tried to destroy the source, it would catalyze and... Dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep.
Chapter 8 The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark.
Actually, it is almost time for the end of stream, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it short here. We'll get back to it probably on next Tuesday. I am enough. I am worthy of love. I am forgiving. I am capable and strong. I am resilient. I can overcome any challenge. I am growing every day, and I have the power to change. I believe in myself. I am confident in my abilities. I deserve happiness, and I am proud of who I am. I am grateful for my blessings, and I have so much to be thankful for. I am surrounded by love and support. I am making a positive impact on the world. For now, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Make sure to hydrate, get some food, and go to sleep on time. And always know that I love you. Have a great one. Good night.